This is getting out of hand. Now there are two of them.
What's going on, everybody? This is NTAT. We got Sean here.
Yo.
And I'm Nate, and we're going to be talking about some of the spoilers for Secrets of Power. We're also going to talk about the new competitive format changes for Season 1. We'll get right into the cards. We got Chancellor Palpatine, one of the two Spotlight decks for this set.
Yep. On his leader side, you have the ability Action. Pay 1 and tap the leader. Search the top 5 cards of your deck for a card with plot, reveal it, and draw it.
And I mean, that's interesting. I mean, it depends on how powerful plot is. We'll talk about plot in a second. But paying 1 to search through your deck and draw a card, a specific card, that'd be, that's quite interesting. It could be powerful.
I really don't get what's up with Palpatine and paying 1 and tapping to do something.
That's a lot of leaders.
Yeah, but the old Palpatine leader, you pay 1, tap 1, kill a unit.
He does do a lot of drawing with it. But anyway, when deployed, the next card you play using plot this phase costs 3 less. And that's a little bit meaningless unless you know some of the plot cards.
He flips on 7 and he has a stat of 6-8, which,
that's a pretty good stat line. That is a pretty good stat line.
He had a stat line of 4-8 in Sparks. Sorry, I like that leader a lot.
But he also took somebody else's unit. So.
Yeah, he did. So I think it's a good ability depending on how good of plot cards that we have. Like higher cost plot cards could make it to where you play more.
Mm-hmm. Especially if we get a couple of 5 or 6 cost plot cards, those could be really strong. Speaking of, these are the cards that are going to be in the Spotlight deck for Palpatine. We've got Cad Bane, a 5 cost, 4/5. When played, you may defeat a unit with 2 or less remaining HP, and he has plot, which is when you deploy a leader, you may play this card from your resources paying its cost. Similar to Smuggle, but you can only do it when you deploy your leader. So it's got a little bit of limitations. I don't think this is all that strong, though. For a 5 cost unit, only 4/5 isn't that high, and defeating a unit with only 2 or less remaining HP just isn't that impressive.
All Spotlight decks usually come with a card that's meant for the leader.
It is a Spotlight deck card, so... Then we have Spy, which is the new token of the set, which I'm not too impressed with just because tokens haven't usually done too good.
Yeah, it's a 0/0/2 raid 2, so it's going to be even worse than most tokens, at least on the defensive side, because your opponent could just swing in and kill it, and
they don't take any damage back. Yeah,
no repercussion for doing it.
But then next up we have Armor of Fortune. It's a 2 cost upgrade that gives you 3 health. I mean, it has plot, so if you flip your leader and you buff up your leader to have more HP, that can be pretty powerful if your opponent doesn't have removal or upgrade hate. But otherwise, I feel like you just play a 2 cost upgrade that does like 2/2 or 2/3 or 3/2. I don't like a 0/3 because you can pay 1 for resilience as an upgrade and get 0/3.
Yeah, but I guess the thing about that one is that it's instantaneous. You flip your Palpatine leader and look at that, he's up for a 6/11.
Yep, he's a 6. I mean, and that's fine, but I feel like if your opponent has a way to deal with a 6/8 unit immediately, they probably have a way to deal with the 6/11 immediately. So at that rate, you just want to get the higher value. So yeah. I don't like it too much. Corrupt Politician is another card that I'm just a little underwhelmed with because Green Villainy is a color where you're usually going hard control. And if you're going hard control, you're not playing enough units to have more units than your opponent. So I just don't see it being too good. It could be okay maybe to pull out with like a Vader or something similar.
Next up, we have the first card that we've seen that allows you to play the new tokens. The 6 cost I Am the Senate. You get to create 5 spy tokens.
I don't like this either. Like, I'm just really not liking a lot of these cards to start off with here. They seem really weak and only good in the limited format.
I mean, considering what we got out of the last set, we got Darth Maul's lightsaber in the Spotlight deck.
Yeah, compared to the last set, this doesn't look all that powerful. Again, green Villainy. I mean, there's a lot of stuff you can play for 6 resources that does so much more than just create 5/0/2 raid 2s. I mean, sure, it's a total of 10 possible damage, but they're so easy to remove. And up next, we have When Has Become Now. It's kind of interesting because you can play a card that has plot from your resources, even if you haven't deployed your leader. Basically, just making it into a slightly worse Smuggle where you're playing it for 1 more and losing a card from your hand.
Well,
because that's one of the powers of Smuggle is that you don't have to play it from your hand. You can play it from your resources.
But it usually costs more.
This still costs more, though.
Only
at least one more. So I think this still isn't that great, but if all of the plot cards are similar to this Cad Bane unit, where he's got a weak stat line and a weak ability, then this won't be very great at all. But
Spotlight decks be spotlight decks.
yeah, so maybe we'll see some stronger plot cards. That's what I'm hoping, because if we see more strong plot cards, this could be good. So we'll have to see. We'll move on to the Padme deck, though, and she's interesting because she has the new revealing or disclosing ability synergies. She has, when you reveal or discard one or more cards from your hand, you may exhaust this leader. If you do, deal 1 damage to a unit. And I can see her fitting into a similar spot as like Quinlan or Cad Bane, where you're using her with like Tarkin Town to get ahead in the early and just spread out the early game and spread out a bunch of damage.
While we still have it.
That's true.
This is the last set before.
Generally, spotlight deck leaders aren't that powerful. So.
No, they're not.
But she flips on 6 resources, and the only change to her ability is that she can proc it multiple times in a turn. She's got a 3/8 stat line, so she's pretty tanky, but I think you want the 4 power on a 6 resource leader, so I'm not sure how much I like that. Let's see. For some of the cards in her spotlight deck, we've got the Furtive Handmaiden. On attack, you may discard a card from your opponent from your hand. If you do, draw a card. A pretty nice ability, especially in Padme, but I don't like the stat line.
It's a token unit.
It's a 2/2. It's going to get killed by almost anything without killing almost anything in return. So it can be nice. 2 damage is enough to kill a few things, but I just don't see it being that powerful unless you can get a Sentinel in front of it, like maybe Captain Typho, but he comes out a little late, so I don't like her too much. But Captain Typho, however, I think he looks pretty good.
Yeah. 4/4/5 Sentinel, which is just great stats to begin with, and then you have the added ability of when this unit is attacked, you may disclose a command heroic. If you do, heal 1 damage from your base.
And when it comes to disclosing, you don't actually have to disclose one card that has both of those. You can disclose 1 green and 1 heroic if you want, or you can disclose like a yellow heroic and a green. You can disclose as many as you want as long as you meet the criteria. So that it's pretty flexible. It just depends on how much information you want to give up, and that's usually not that strong. It's usually not that big of a deal if you show your opponent a few cards in your hand, especially if they have low impact.
Oh, I'm going to be throwing down my whole hand.
Yeah,
here's my hand. I disclosed everything to you.
If you do, heal 1 damage, and not all that impactful. You might heal 1 or 2 damage from your base, which is good. It's okay. It works well with being a Sentinel. If you're playing Sentinels, you want to prevent damage from your base and heal a little bit from your base. That's good. The 4/5 stat line, it's okay for 4 resources. I think it's solid. I think the extra power really changes it because there's other units like Turret who can reduce the damage he takes by using the Force, which makes him a lot tankier, which is what you want in a Sentinel. But the 4 damage dealing back can kill a lot of things. So I'm not sure. I think if you have access to Turret, you play Turret. But if you're playing Green Heroic and you don't have access to Blue, then you're definitely going with Captain Typho.
On to a card that's how earlier we said there are cards that are only good in the Spotlight decks. Anakin Skywalker. He's a 3/3/4 hidden. While you control Padme Amidala as a leader or unit, this unit gains raid 2.
And a 3/3/4, with hidden is fine. It's nothing crazy, nothing bad. But if you're paying 3 resources, there's a lot of cards with really good abilities that also have a 3/3/4 stat line. So he's really only good if you're playing Padme. So his power really depends on how strong she is. Because then it's a 5/4 attacker, which is solid. Still solid. But only if Padme's good. We've got Jar Jar Binks next, though. We've got when played, you may give another friendly unit +2/+2 for this phase. He also has plot.
He does also have plot because, he knew what he was doing.
He knew what he was doing. That's why he has plot, and he's a pure green, not a green heroic. Because he was setting him up for failure.
Let's give immediate emergency powers to the Supreme Chancellor.
Yeah, his subtext is Misa proposed.
Yeah, Misa proposed. You're giving immediate +2/+2
to Chancellor Palpatine.
to your unit.
Anyway, moving on, we have C3PO. A 1 cost, 1/3 action, return this unit to its owner's hand, give a unit +2/+2 for this phase. It could be okay in like aggro decks because you can get like a cheap pump and, go ahead and get some extra damage to the base, but it still takes a lot of action because you have to play the card, wait till next turn, then use the action to give the pump, and then swing in before it dies. So there's a lot of ways to prevent this. So there's probably a few better pump options.
Salacious Bikram was the better card.
But he might see some play in some aggro. Jar Jar Binks also could be okay in some more aggro decks because he has plot, so you can play him on your leader flip and then buff up your leader and swing straight into the base. So that could be okay. But I don't see 3PO being too good. Jar Jar could be okay. We'll see how it goes.
Could you imagine having all 3 of your Jar Jars in your resource pile, flipping your leader on turn 6 and just playing Jar Jar 3 times?
+6/+6. Going into your base for 10.
That's immediate emergency powers.
And then lastly, the only one they don't have on the website right now is Cyril Karn, which he's a 2-cost, 2/3, not a great stat line, but not bad either, especially when you have the on-attack ability of you may disclose 2 reds and a villainy. If you do, choose a unit, deal 2 damage to that unit, unless its controller discards a card from their hand.
I mean, he has basically official stats. I mean, if you see like Poggle or Mon.
For sure. He does have the official trait, which will be relevant if you end up running the Green Sentinels like the
Royal Guards.
The Royal Guards, yep. And I do like this ability. I mean, most of the time it's just going to be deal 2 damage to a unit. Nobody wants to discard a card from their hand. But if they do, it's even better for you because if you're playing red, you're probably playing Force Throw, you're probably playing Force Choke, so dealing damage around is really strong. And especially removing cards from their hand is really strong because it forces them to discard even more when you play a Force Throw.
I mean, if you play them first turn and you swing into base before their units had the chance to attack, they have to choose discard a card or lose my first turn play, possibly.
If they want to attack Cyril Karn, that is. So it is a pretty strong ability. I expect him to see a lot of play. He's a rare. But I expect him to see a lot of play, for sure. In any red villainy, I expect him to be in at least a few of them. All right, and that's all the cards we have access to so far. We'll be here for whenever they add more spoilers.
Oh, I'll be looking out.
Oh, yeah.
Every day.
Now let's take a look at the new competitive format for Set 1. The first things first, the Galactic Championship will no longer be an open format. It will be invite only, and to get an invite, you have to gain enough points over the season from placing higher than top 8 in any PQs, higher than top 64 in any regional or sector, and you get a certain amount of points depending on how high you go. For PQs, if you win, you get 100. You need 100 to qualify. So if you win a PQ, do anything higher than a top 8 at any other event, a sector or a regional, you automatically qualify. Otherwise, you just need to have enough high placements to gain 100 points. And if you go ahead and gain more than 100 points, they said there will be rewards for being one on the higher end.
Yep, I believe they also mentioned milestones for that. But going into that, I know what you guys are thinking. Now that we need to get points, have they upped the number of events? Oh yeah, they've upped the number of events. Significantly. We have 510 planetary qualifiers, 9 sector qualifiers, 3 regional championships, which moved away from the regional.
They changed the name from regional qualifier to regional championship. They didn't really say exactly why they believed they wanted to change it that way, but I assume there's not much of a difference. It's still an open tournament. It still has a max cap of 1,000-something players, 1,024 players, and there's the only difference so far is the name and that there's 3 instead of 2 this season. They also mentioned that at the Galactics, even though it's an invite only, there will be a final chance event the day before day 1 of the Galactics, so similar to a day 1, but not the same because it's not based on the points. It's just if you place high enough, they haven't said how high, you will get a invite to day 1 of the Galactic Championships.
So think about it as a day 0.5.
Yeah, a day 0.5 where you have the chance to make it to the day 1. They also mentioned that to become the Galactic Champion, you do have to win in both the constructed format and in the limited format, meaning they will have they didn't go into detail, but they will have some form of competition in a limited format that you'll have to win to be crowned the Galactic Championship. I personally don't like that much.
Oh, no, I don't like it that much either, because it's like, you could have held 2 Galactics if you really wanted to crown a Galactic Champion for Limited, but I feel like Limited's a little too luck-based.
Yeah, Limited is very luck-based. I mean, all season you're playing in Constructed to qualify for the Galactic Championship. You don't want to be practicing in with your deck that you've built and then lose because you didn't draw good cards or because you faced somebody who drew exceptionally well from something like a what's it called?
Starter box.
A starter box or a pre-release kit, whatever they end up using. However, whatever limited format they use, I assume it will be a draft format because that's the only limited format that they've really used, other than like really wonky versions of the game. But for constructed, I really think that's the most competitive version of the game. And if we're going to be at the biggest competitive event, I would prefer if the entire event is constructed.
I honestly think this may be a one and done type thing. I don't think many people are going to like it.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be a good part, or maybe it won't be bad at all because they did say to be crowned Galactic Champion, you have to win both. So I don't know how they could possibly do that as like a side event or something that doesn't actually matter to being crowned. If they literally said that to be crowned as the Galactic Championship, you must win in both formats.
It's going to be really interesting. Are they going to have like the top 8 just break out these constructing or the pre-release kits and just go from there?
Yeah, like is that going to be is there going to be 2 parts where you have to place whoever places highest in both combined wins or something? Like, what is it? It doesn't make sense. I don't see how you'd have to be able to win in a constructed and a limited format.
They'll probably go more into it later. I trust they know what they're doing. They've done well so far.
I don't like the sound of it, but we'll have to see what they do before we can make any judgments. They also revealed the names of the next 3 sets after Secrets of Power. We've got Lawless Times to start off with. It's probably just going to be similar to set 2 with Han Solo, crime syndicates, bounty hunters, etc. Just because Lawless Times themed around Han Solo mostly.
Yep. You'll mostly see criminal syndicates such as the Hutt Syndicate, Pike Syndicate, and Crimson Dawn.
Then next up we have Ashes. Ashes of the Empire, I believe. Yeah, yep. Ashes of the Empire. Probably stuff like Thrawn, like focused around Thrawn and the Rebels, Moff Gideon, Mandalorian, Bo-Katan. And all of this sounds really similar to set 2. But there's not much more it could mean unless they go really deep into like
Legends with the old Emperor.
Yeah, so I'm not sure about that.
Which would turn entire planets to ash.
And last but not least, we have last but not least, we have Homeworld or Homeworlds. The best bet we have for that would be like the Sith and Jedi Homeworlds, which is Legends stuff. But we're not sure how committed they are to revealing Legends stuff, even though they have.
I mean, we have Revan, Malik. We have a decent amount of Legends cards.
We do, but doing a whole set to them, I'm not sure how much they do that.
I mean, we've already seen all the main characters once or twice. We're even getting some High Republic cards with like Avar Kriss and Makaron Ro.
That's true, so it might be a set entirely themed around it. We'll have to see.
But yeah, other than that, Homeworlds, we don't really know.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, that's all we have for you guys today. So we hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you next time on NTAT Gaming.